In a dramatic and unprecedented move that underscores escalating tensions between the federal government and elite academic institutions, the Trump administration has officially frozen $2.2 billion in federal funding earmarked for Harvard University. This seismic decision comes after Harvard's leadership flatly rejected a set of far-reaching demands issued by the administration, which were framed as part of a broader initiative to combat anti-Semitism on U.S. college campuses. Welcome to In the Know News, your trusted source for bold reporting and sharp insights on the events shaping our world. Today's story is not just about Harvard or higher education. It's about the collision of academic independence, civil rights, and federal authority in the United States. The funding freeze follows a declaration by Harvard President Alan Garber, who stated that the university would not surrender its independence or its constitutional rights. This firm response came just hours before the Joint Task Force to Combat Anti-Semitism, a multi-agency body established by the Trump administration, announced the suspension of the federal grants, which were part of long-term financial commitments to the school. The task force accused Harvard of exhibiting an entitlement mindset, arguing that taxpayer funding must be accompanied by a commitment to upholding civil rights laws and federal oversight. At the core of the conflict is a rapidly intensifying debate over anti-Semitism on college campuses. After the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel and the ensuing conflict in Gaza, many U.S. universities, including Harvard, were rocked by pro-Palestinian student protests. These demonstrations, which often included deeply divisive rhetoric, drew sharp scrutiny from lawmakers, donors, and the public. President Trump, who has made the fight against anti-Semitism a key priority of his administration, launched a comprehensive investigation into how institutions like Harvard were handling these tensions, particularly in terms of protecting Jewish students. While Harvard had previously acknowledged the need to address anti-Semitism and took steps such as revising disciplinary procedures and removing certain faculty members, the administration demanded significantly more. According to President Garber, late-stage demands submitted by federal officials went far beyond initial requests. These included sweeping changes to the university's internal governance, elimination of diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs, adjustments to admissions and hiring practices, and restrictions on the influence of individuals based on ideological positions, a list Garber condemned as an attempt to exert political control over academic freedom. The majority of these demands represent direct governmental regulation of the intellectual conditions at Harvard, Garber wrote in a public statement. He characterized the federal approach as confrontational rather than cooperative, arguing that it undermined genuine efforts to combat anti-Semitism in favor of political leverage. This confrontation with Harvard is part of a wider campaign. In February, the Trump administration created the task force to investigate anti-Semitism across multiple campuses, including Columbia University. After threatening to withhold $400 million from Columbia, the administration reached a compromise in which the university agreed to ban face coverings during protests, expand campus security authority, and appoint a senior vice provost to oversee departments related to Middle Eastern, South Asian, and African studies. Harvard's legal team, comprising attorneys from Quinn Emanuel Urquhart and Sullivan and King and Spalding, fired back in a letter addressed to several federal agencies, including the Department of Education. Neither Harvard nor any other private university can allow itself to be taken over by the federal government, they warned, drawing a sharp line between government oversight and academic sovereignty. This funding freeze is likely to spark a broad national conversation about the role of government in shaping university policies, the limits of academic freedom, and the balancing act between civil rights enforcement and political neutrality. As this battle plays out, other universities across the country are watching closely, knowing they could be next in line. Thank you for joining us at In the Know News, where we dive deeper, cut through the noise, and bring you the facts that matter. Stay with us for continuing coverage as this high-stakes standoff unfolds and shapes the future of American higher education.